Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Nintendo Expansion Pass here on Boss Rush Games. I'm your host, Dan Lights and Excited Eddie V, and joining me back in the building, this guy I truly love. I miss so much. He is the host of the Scramble Rambles podcast. You guys know him as an alumni of Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast. He is the one, the only, the gorgeous Austin Campbell. Hello, good sir.
Whoa, Ed, man, I am so flattered. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say after that. You got me flustered now. I don't know what to say after this. It's good to be back, Ed.
How are you?
It is so good to be back. I missed you. I'll always be part of Boss Rush. I love everything y'all got going on. And Pal Block will always be the number one Nintendo podcast. I'm doing well, though. I'm doing well. I kind of skipped over your question. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just so happy that we could spend this time doing a recording because we watched the Summer Game Fest like on our own time. I had to work and you probably watched it. I don't know if you watched it when it started or anything, or if you watched it later on in the day, but there was a lot of games that were announced and finally got date. Spider-Man 2 being in October, Alan Wake being 3 days before, I think October 17th. So that's going to be a busy weekend for PlayStation owners and those who own PC and Xbox for Alan Wake 2, because it is going to also be on PlayStation 5. And while watching the presentation, it kind of got me thinking, is Nintendo in trouble for this fall? Or do you think they could still be big this fall? And we're just talking about the fall. We're not even talking about winter, because as everybody know, me and Corey talked about this, that literally after August, we don't know what Nintendo was doing. Like, their last big game is Pikmin 4 in July. But like after Sea of Stars in August, we don't know what Nintendo is doing. So I want to ask you, Austin, your thoughts. Let's start with the Summer Game Fest.
Okay.
What did you take away from that? And do you think that will affect on how Nintendo will be seen during this fall?
So I watched the Summer Game Fest live with Josh Finn from Tower Casuals. Everyone knows him as the Xbox guy. We were in the same Discord together, and of course Logan Corkins was also there, another Boss Rush former Crossroads member. So, and what me and Josh were kind of discussing, I had said that I think it's a little weird that we're not seeing anything about Nintendo. There is a rumor about a Direct, but when is there not a rumor about a Nintendo Direct? Like, as soon as one drops, there's the rumor of the next one.
Yes,
it does seem a little dead for Nintendo after Pikmin 4. Yes, but this is my thought process. If we are going to get another console, I'm assuming it's going to be next year. And I'm assuming that, Nintendo has been dropping a big, like a first party title once a month at least for the last 3 years. I think they've earned a 6-month break where they don't drop anything and you come back and you hit harder than ever with that big drop with that new console. I'm guessing. I have no idea what's going on with Nintendo. I don't know. The thing with Nintendo is people. This is going to get a little bit into the PlayStation Showcase, okay? Which I have some varying opinions on.
Oh, bring it. This is Expansion Pass. We bring up everything.
So people are mad that they're not seeing certain PlayStation games at the PlayStation Showcase, but they're not even close to being ready. Aren't we a little tired of seeing games being 2 years out and being announced? We don't want to see those, right? We want to see games that are coming out, right? So that's kind of what I want to see. Same like with Xbox, we've seen so many games that just they announce them, but they haven't come out yet. They haven't
Yes.
come out yet. Nintendo has this thing where they're just like, "Hey, it's coming out a couple months." They didn't talk about Tears of the Kingdom till what 5-6 months before the game dropped. Like that's when we knew it was coming, but
Yeah.
they didn't really show us anything till 6 months before. You just dropped the hottest game of the summer. It's probably going to win Game of the Year. You're gonna drop Pikmin 4, which is a cult classic. I wouldn't say that's the biggest Nintendo hit, but that is the one that all the Nintendo people like big fans are gonna go for.
Yep.
I think you can rest your case if you're Nintendo. They'll probably sell Switches. They're gonna sell Switches, but I don't think this has got to be the year for like PlayStation and Xbox to be like, all right, here. This is the one month. This is the one time where Nintendo might actually be quiet for a little bit. You gotta drop stuff. You gotta drop something. And we know what we know what PlayStation's is. We know what Xbox is. It's gonna be Starfield. It's gonna be Spider-Man. Are they gonna bring us anything else? Because I think we are pretty. You can call me a PlayStation fanboy all you want. I don't care because I love both of these games. I'm actually more excited about the Xbox game. But I'm pretty sure we can all be guaranteed that Spider-Man's going to be good. Insomniac has a
Yes.
track record. First Spider-Man was good. I really hope Starfield is good. I'm more excited about Starfield than I am Spider-Man, believe it or not. I'm a huge Bethesda fan. But this is if that's it, if that's all they got, and then Nintendo comes back with whatever they got cooking up for this next console. I'm assuming. I still don't know. You could tell me that we're gonna get a Nintendo Direct in July, and they're gonna announce a new Mario 3D game, which I assume is what's gonna come next. That's my guess. We got
Mm.
when we got Breath of the Wild, we ended up getting Mario Odyssey. What that October or November?
Yes.
Same year,
And
sometime late that
October.
winter.
Yes.
So I'm assuming if we do get anything, that's probably what it's going to be. I love Mario 3D, so I'll take anything they got. But I'm kind of Ed, you can tell me if you think otherwise. I'm kind of okay with Nintendo taking a little bit of a break. I got stuff I got to catch
So
up on. I'm still on Three Houses. Just
so so I agree with you. I have said that it's okay if Nintendo, like, even if they want to release ports, because the only biggest thing that we have now for Nintendo, looking forward to right now, is Metroid Prime 4.
mm,
With Level 5 also bringing their games out, like Professor Layton, Nintendo could be publishing those games. So those could be considered as somewhat first party, but still outdone from outside because Nintendo's doing the publishing.
mm.
Nintendo could take a break after August, if as long I think as they give us as at least two games in the fall or in the winter. You
I
know,
don't think you even
if
have to do
Nintendo,
that. I think you could just start give us the big Game Boy Advance games we want. Give us the give us
yeah,
the Nintendo 64 games that people want. You can use your online pass to really just push your product for the next 6 months and let it coast and let it
mm-hmm,
coast. And then when you come back next year, we got a new Mario 3D game. We got Metroid Prime 4. We got like a Wind Waker remake. Like it's just fully redone, or Twilight Princess, whatever one you want
we
to do.
I
Crazy.
told Corey, I was just like, if they did a Twilight Princess Wind Waker combo bundle, even though that would be more eShop, but if they did that for the same price as a Breath of the Tears of the Kingdom, a $70 price point, or if they want to do 85, they wouldn't do that. Do you know people are if there better be a physical because people are going to up those coins. B, people are going to probably also buy it on the eShop so they can get it early.
Yeah.
And C, they're going to be hoping that, hey, y'all re-releasing these games on Switch. Can we really get some re-releases of the Amiibo? I was talking to Corey. I was just like, even the Wolf Amiibo with Twilight Princess packaged in, just like they did the Wii U version. Oh,
Yeah.
you know, if you do not pre-order that when it goes live, you may not get one.
Listen, Nintendo fans are crazy, they'll pay $120 for two versions of the same half-baked Pokemon game. They'll pay $120 for a remake of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. And you're raising your hand. You're guilty. You're guilty. You let him get away with it.
Hey, I gotta get my edition, because in case if I want to look for that game and it's not on the eShop, I'm not about to spend $420 some trying to get a physical. Oh no. People, you have got to learn. Me and Corey spoke about this. If you do not get that first edition physically of a Nintendo game nowadays, good luck trying to find it when it goes out of print.
Yeah. I trying to find Wii games is crazy enough. Wii U games are insane. I'm lucky to live in kind of a small town where we have quite a few shops, and I go in there every once in a while and I'll catch something. But most of the time, you know what Wii games I find? NCAA Football 09 or like some knockoff 2K sports game. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want any of this. And they're just trying to give it away. You're not gonna find Mario Galaxy in the bargain bin. That's not happening. You're not gonna do that anymore.
You have you have to find some good garage sales going on.
Granny, you gotta find some old lady. You gotta find an old lady. She's losing her marbles a little bit. You gotta find a sad situation. As bad as it sounds to say, you gotta find a sad situation, because that's the only way you're gonna get some good deals on some Nintendo games.
You got to do what you got to do to get your game. If she's taking that coin for 25 cents, there you go, Grandma. Your grandson ain't playing this game or don't care about the Wii no more. Give it to me.
If you're listening to this and you see a grandma selling a sealed copy of any Nintendo Wii game for $1, just be nice and give her an extra $1. Just give her $2. Just say, hey, for your trouble. Be nice.
Bless her.
Be nice out there.
Yes.
Oh, but so, I mean,
yeah.
I think Nintendo can easily say. Now, here's the thing, Ed. Nintendo could just coast, but do they want that record? They want that record selling units. Do they want to push for it?
They're going to try, because I have the NPD numbers haven't came out, and I told Corey, I was just like, that Zelda bundle for Switches, they kind of been restocking, but they've been selling out real quick. I have one. I ordered one and got mine. So they may be getting more sales with special edition Switches. Mm-hmm. So I'm just waiting to see the numbers on how the Zelda one did.
What do you think would be the next one if they try to make one more special edition? Like, I don't even know what they would do.
It would be Metroid Prime 4.
Because I kind of hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, it will. Because, well, it may not, but I have a feeling it will. And this is the reason. Because it has been almost 2 years, I think, or almost a year, that Metroid Dread has dropped. And it's just like, they're almost like literally been bringing it back up as like a trending topic with Metroid Dread. So, and I know that's because of the Sonic game, and not the Sonic game, the Prince of Persia game. I understand that. But Metroid Dread has been in a lot of people's mouths, and people have been talking about it. So Nintendo's taking notice of that, to be like, maybe we should remind people that Metroid Dread is out. Or we should remind them that Metroid Prime 4 is coming. Hey, guess what? Let's show them what a Metroid Prime 4 Switch would look like. And this Pro Controller. And the Amiibo. I was telling Corey that Gamescom, and this is my personal thing, since Nintendo's going to be there, I think that's when they're going to reveal Metroid Prime 4. It's going to be at Gamescom.
That's in October, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You really think they would do it at Gamescom? You don't think they'd have their own, just like a own event?
If well, the thing about it is if so, we would have to wait for Nintendo Direct. And so if they do one this summer, it would be a partners direct, I think. But if they want to do a full 45-minute direct that's going to hit us with games and what's the big thing coming, they're going to do it at Gamescom. They're going to have an exhibit at Gamescom, but they also could just release a Nintendo Direct. Everybody around the world will watch it and be like, "Hey, these games that we're showing, if you guys want to play them, if you're in Germany, come play them at Gamescom."
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they be like, "Here's a playable demo of Metroid Prime 4." You get the experience first at Gamescom, and then everybody else you could download the demo at this date.
Let me ask you this though: who who hasn't bought a Switch that is how many do you? I think Metroid Prime 4 could be a system seller 3 or 4 years ago, but who doesn't have one yet that didn't buy one by now for Tears of the Kingdom? Like
So,
how many people are out there?
so people who have Tears of the Kingdom also have the Splatoon one, and also have the
So
Smash one.
so the special editions, yes, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many special
It's
editions they've made for all of these different games? Like how many do they actually make of those?
um, well, the Black Friday one for I think Super Mario Odyssey. I think Odyssey or the 3D collection got one. I think they normally do a special edition for Black Friday. Tears of the Kingdom, Smash, Pokemon has I think two of them. Splatoon 3 has one. Um,
Mhm.
I think they got about 5 to 7. I'm gonna say. And with
So it's
they did
more.
a Metroid Prime. Oh, go ahead.
Well, you're mostly saying the collector. The collectors are the ones that are going to be buying these, but it might not sell
There's
to your average
the
everyday player.
for some people, yeah, some of the everyday player, because there's some people who are not into Zelda and stuff, but they bought the Tears of the Kingdom one because uh, they liked the way that it looked, and also they was some people were upgrading to the OLED. Some people haven't upgraded to the OLED one; they were still using the
True.
old Switch, so they was taking the side. With the Metroid one, I think like with Prime, I think it's going to be the Metroid community, and there's a lot of people in there. And you got to remember, Metroid Dread did 3 million. So some people, so out of that 3 million, that's a possibility. 1.5 or even 1 million people will go and get that. If it's a dope looking system, people are going to get that, and of course, it's going to be the Joy-Con and the dock, and it's still going to be the
Right.
OLED version of it, but it's going to be, let me get the system. Oh, that's a raw pro controller. Add in accessories. Don't forget, even if the systems are a low seller, it's still money in the bank with all the accessories that's going to be added on for Nintendo Pro Controller. Because that's what, to get the full Zelda experience, you were spending close to $600.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you was getting the amiibos, you were getting the Pro Controller, you were getting the system, you were getting the $80 game, or $70 game, or depending on if you got the collection, whatever price that was. And the collection and the system itself, that's already about close to 500 some dollars,
Yeah.
because depending on tax and then everything else. So yes, Nipsey cares about the system sales, but a lot of that stuff adds up.
Yeah. Do you want Metroid Prime 4 on the current Switch? Like, do you want it to come out for the current Switch, or do you want it to be set for the next
So,
one?
so me and Corey just had this discussion. There's an episode out. He think it's going to be cross-gen. I don't think so. Now, it's a
You think it's going
possibility
to
it
be
could
next gen?
happen.
Do you think it's going to be next gen
He
only? or do you think it's
No,
only going
he.
to be
I think
current?
it's going to be. I think it's going to be Switch only.
So
It's
current
something
gen
else that's going
only,
to be
right?
next gen. Yes, because I
Okay.
don't think. I don't think Nintendo is ready just yet to end the Switch on Metroid Prime 4. There is no way for that to happen. Because the thing about it is that Nintendo is still getting chips, still talking, still doing R&D for their next console. I think they're
Would
ready to do the
you?
$70 price point. That's fine. But I think they're still their R&D is secret. And unless they're hiring, because they were just like, we're hiring for engineers for this and that. So their next gen stuff is not even ready yet. They're testing different chips, or they're like buying current chips and getting an idea. And then they'll probably be talking to some companies to be like, okay, we need a custom made chip and everything, because who do they talk to? Nvidia, probably, or
Hmm.
they could be talking to AMD. Possibility they could be talking them to IBM. Like, we don't know who they're talking to. A lot of people say Corey thinks that they're talking to Nvidia. Probably, yeah. But when it
Everyone,
comes
I
to
think
their next
everyone's talking
console,
to Nvidia. Everyone's talking
yeah.
to
But
Nvidia.
right, but if AMD or IBM can offer them the same thing at a cheaper price, and Nintendo was just like, they're offering us this. Nvidia might be one of this. Who knows? We could see that. Hey, here goes. I call it Switch Deluxe. Oh, here goes Switch Deluxe. It got 2K. Uh, when you undock it, it does 1440p. Yes, you can use your old Switch games because backwards compatibility is going to be very important. And hope, because I don't know if Nintendo's going to go back to CD. We don't know
I
that yet.
I might not buy the next Nintendo if it wasn't backwards compatible. I would just be like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this.
But
Anything that's
I
not
think
backwards
people,
compatible at this point is got a problem.
I think it would be, I PlayStation and Microsoft is late to the backwards compatibility thing. It's just that everybody got comfortable once Microsoft and Sony started doing it. Nintendo has always had it since their handheld. The only time that they didn't have it is being Switch, because it's a different medium. It's a different format.
Mm,
That's been the only time. But you can play DS games on the 3DS. You can play Wii games on the Wii U. You can play GameCubes on the Wii. Like,
mm.
once they had that format going on for Nintendo, you have access to backwards compatibility. Now, I won't say for that one red Wii console, because that one was only for just Wii games.
Right.
Everything else, like all the Wii U's,
Well,
played
that's what
all
I'm
the Wii
saying though.
games.
Like at this
Mhm.
point, all three of them, if PS6 and Xbox, whatever you want to call the next one, whatever you want to call
Right.
it, Xbox Series Y or whatever comes out, and they're not backwards compatible, it's over for them. That you've lost. There's no way no one's gonna buy this anymore. You
But then,
Steam has been doing this for how long? There's people that have had Steam counts for how long, and they have all their
mhm.
games still. Let's we all need to be on board at this point.
which which I can understand, because Steam is more digital focused. It's
Right.
digital, and with all the licensing and all of that. So that's easier to do. That's
Right.
kind of just one platform. And the only time, like, unless you just get rid of your Steam account or whatever that be, um, your games will always carry. But that with consoles, it's just different formats. It's different ways that games are being read on a Blu-ray or a CD or whatever. So if
Mhm.
Nintendo wants to do backwards compatibility, as long as they got the cartridge slot, they'd be like, hey, you can still play your Switch games, but this is also the new format. So if they could get a chip that's powerful to where you can play both systems at the same time, or not both
Mhm.
at the same time, play different games on that one system, your whole Switch library, or your whole new Nintendo Switch or Switch Deluxe library, you could do that. Because what's going to end up happening with Nintendo, they're going to have to change the box format on how it looks to fit on whatever new media. And if it's not backwards compatible, why people will be mad? You got the Switch still. Now it could be your portable system. You know, if
Yeah.
Nintendo goes back to being straight, if they end up going back to being a console based system, yes, people are going to be mad. But are people not going to pick up the system? You'll be crazy not to.
Oh, I'm crazy. I'm crazy at this point. I won't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would be like, no, I'm done. I'll just stay with the Switch.
Which would be fine.
Yeah.
But once again,
But
Austin, you
but
already know how Nintendo likes. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I'm saying this as a person whose Nintendo is not their main console.
Yes.
I've gotten older now, and I have very limited time to where I play on PlayStation because when I play games, it's on the TV, and very rarely do I actually play my Switch. And maybe a little bit before bed because it's handheld, it's easy, and my Xbox just sits there really sad, because it's waiting for Starfield. It's been waiting for Starfield for 2 years now, or however long I've had it. It's just sitting there, waiting.
And I think Xbox. I mean, I still use my Xbox for a lot of some of the older games, but I still buy Series X games. I have Jedi Fallen Order. I have Jedi Survivor, I should say. I also have Fallen Order, but I do have Redfall too. I went and brought Redfall and everything. And
you bought Redfall? You bought it?
I brought Redfall. Yeah.
Oof. I'm sorry.
So, but I played it all the way through. So I could. My plan is to write a review for it, but I think I'm gonna hold back. In case of this showcase, they said, okay, here is the update for that game. Because I want to be able to write it as okay, this is all the upgrades. This is the final stuff. Now you can get the idea and everything. Because I'm not going to... Redfall does has its problems, but I'm not going to go in and trash it the way that a lot of people have trashed it, it is a fun game. I want to play it with multiplayer mode, which I'm probably going to throw some invites just to random people and be like, let's play this game. If you want to start a new game, I'm down with that and carry over. It's not a bad game. It's just that it's something that Arcane, and I know there's the story about the ups and downs about the game, but I got to give props to Arcane that you tried something different. Yeah. And I'm glad that you tried something different than and no knock against, and I told this to Corey, no knock against Bungie, but I want them to do something different. Yes, Bungie is good at first person shooters and everything, but I want you to do something different and diversify. Because
I think that's a separate conversation.
Yeah,
because I think we could go.
It is
because I think I understand what you mean, and
if you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushMedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
I give companies more respect. I give companies more respect when they do something different and everything. If they're trying a different genre,
right?
Whether it's a success or not, I'm glad that you did something different, because now I could look at your portfolio of libraries and say, hey, you did give us variety because you did this. Whether it's successful or not, you gave us some variety, and that's what I love. You can't blame people who. Oh, go ahead.
There is an appreciation I have for Obsidian and stuff like that who really diversify into different games, but it's not a knock, but you can tell when they're there's a team that's just really passionate about the game that they love to play and the game they love to make, and that's what Bungie is, and that's why if they were going to do a different game, I would want them to like make a separate team, maybe. But I don't want Bungie. I don't want Bungie making a 2D side scroller. Like if someone wants to go off and make their own, but that's fine.
But I would love Bungie to do a 2D side scroller to say that you got out of the box, because you still could do a gun game. You could make something like Contra. I would love to see you do that because you have the chops. Challenge. I guess sometimes I feel like as developers, it's okay to challenge yourself if it's within the respectable budget and everything. I would love
Yes.
I would love a 5 level demo of a shooting game from Bungie. It's only $3. You can play it on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. It's cross system, cross whatever. If they gave us that, I would be down for it. I mean, yes, Konami has gotten non-cynical threats and all of that stuff for what they do, but they went out to other developers to make some indie style games. That's way different from Konami. But back on the Wii, they did Contra Rebirth. Don't forget, the whole team at Treasure who was doing the Contra system games left and formed Treasure. So I'm just like, even though that's different and everything, it's something that Konami is not really known for. They did something different. They made a 5-level game. It's a 5-level independent game with a whole team that has never made a Contra game.
True. But I still like
go ahead.
People making what they want to make. I mean,
yes.
I'm sure there's people at Bungie that are probably like, I have a really good job here. I've been with this company a long time. I make my good money here. Bungie's a very stable company, very supportive. I don't want to make first-person shooters anymore, but I don't want to leave this really good job. I can understand that. I can understand that be a very difficult thing to like kind of always want to do something. But, and this might sound like, maybe it sounds ignorant, but so many people have broke off and done games and so many people are just making games in their bedrooms and they work full-time jobs and they do. You don't really have an excuse not to make your own game. If you can do it, then just do it. Like that's, I mean, there are people who work full-time jobs and they come home and they work on the game they want to make. And maybe it's good, maybe it's not, but it's what they want to make. So if you work at a Bungie and you want to make a different game, I understand you don't want to come home and you don't want to game develop at work and then develop games at home. But if that's your passion and you really want to do something, you want to break out of the box, I feel like you have the freedom to do that more than any other time ever. The tools are free. Tools are free. So to me, but as far as the company goes, the team goes, like, I want that like dedicated stuff. I want people to make the games that they find attractive because that's what they're passionate about. That's what they want.
I do too.
That's why
I do too. But I think
I'm going to say this because I know you're going to disagree with me. Because I've heard you all talk. I've heard you all talk about this. I highly disagree with you all. Let Ken Levine make the game he wants to make. I don't care what people think he should make. I don't care if it looks like a BioShock game. I don't care. That's the game he wants to make. That's the game I want. I don't want Ken Levine to make a scrolling, 2D shooter or whatever.
He just fell out of popularity.
I disagree with that 100%.
He fell out of popularity.
I will say this: he's still popular. People are still going for him. There are a lot of people and I'm just me being a Ken Levine superfan. But he also took his own separate team of 12, 15 people. Those are people that chose to go with him, chose to make that vision, whatever. It's not like he's hoarding this giant team to make some passion product. Like, I feel like that's a lot of reasons why BioShock Infinite gets a little hate, because he had this huge studio and kept them doing this game for a really, really long time until 2K's like, look, we got to get this out right now. This is a whole different thing where these are people that chose to leave with him, chose to follow this passion project. I want whatever he has in his mind.
I completely respect that, but it's him, Cliff Bleszinski, those two. We know what you can make. You're good at what you're making. That's completely fine. That's great. But it comes to a point in time where there are just some people who would love to see you try to do something different. Not saying that you can't make another shock style game. That's completely fine. You want to do another game that you feel is close to some of your older work. That's completely fine. But it gets to a point where it keeps feeling the same. And when you get to that point, you started becoming a one-note developer, a one-note team, a one-note studio. And it's just like, I really wish you would try to do something. But as gamers, we don't allow these companies to try something because we won't support it because it's a new IP. It's not what we or a specific community wants from that company. They want the same old and everything. So it's scared for, and this is all business. Like, people, some companies cannot break out and do different things because it's a business. They don't want to take a risk of losing.
What I'm saying is, they already. What risk does he need to take if he's already left and made his own game? Like, to me, it's not about business anymore. He's doing what he wants to do. He could have stayed,
which is fine. But I think the game would have been more interesting if it was completely something different and not feeling like your older work.
But what does it need to be different then? Is it a shock game because it's dark?
No.
Is it kind of horror-ish? Is it kind of future-ish? Is it because it has a gun?
The thing about it is when you visually see it and how things move in character design, the first thing that comes out, the comparison is BioShock. Sometimes people will want somebody to deliver a game where they cannot compare anything to it. It looks interesting, but I can't compare. If Ken Levine would have did a 2D vertical or a top-down shooter where I could say, okay, this is not Ikaruga, this is not R-Type, this is something completely different. He's playing around with the genre. He's doing something that I've never done. Okay, my interest is there. I want to see what are you doing now? Because you're taking a old genre as a shoot 'em up in space, like a 2D shooter, and you're doing something completely different that Treasure hasn't done, that Nintendo hasn't done, Konami hasn't done, that these other companies have not done. So you're standing out. Now I'm more interested. You are Ken Levine, who made these older games, and now you're making something completely different that I can't do no comparison. That's what I want.
So you want Kojima?
Even Kojima. I want Kojima to literally do something different.
I don't understand that. Kojima's completely different. Kojima's games are completely different from each other.
Kojima's games I know they go for these big cinematic style games, but can you see a Kojima making a fighting game? Can you see him making a puzzle game?
But that's not what they want to do. Like, that's like saying, "Hey, Taika Waititi, go write a book."
I know.
Or go make a play. No, we want you to make movies. That's not. That's not even the same.
Yeah, but this is just hypothetical. I'm just saying hypothetical.
Yeah.
It's just using that as an example. It's just that and maybe it is a personal thing, but I would love to see something different once in a while. If you have the money and the budget and the fans will support you, I would love to see you do something different.
So do you want a Mario first-person shooter?
From Nintendo? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, and because the thing about it is they let Ubisoft do a strategy game with Mario. And you know Nintendo is very protective of their IP. They choose who they want to work with.
Yeah.
Mercury Steam should not be around after Castlevania 2, after that Castlevania on PlayStation 3. But they still here. And now gamers feel like, okay, if it's a 2D Metroid game, Mercury Steam has the keys to it. If it's a 3D adventure game or a first person shooter, Retro has it. Now, Fire Emblem is a good example. Regardless of how people see Fire Emblem Engage, because the intelligence system, which is their IP, they did engage. But people were just like, it doesn't feel like Three Houses. Guess who did Three Houses? Koei Tecmo. Yes, the Dead or Alive one. Yes, the one who did the Dynasty Warrior games that the last one was completely questionable content. Like, the company that you literally got on because of Metroid Other M. Now they do the Fire Emblem games. They taking their turn, their spin, and you love the series now?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There are different teams that could try to innovate and make it better.
Yeah.
I think you could argue that Three Houses changed Fire Emblem for the better. And when they went back to older versions of Fire Emblem with Engage, it didn't go as well. But it was a new team. It was Koei.
Intelligence system. It was Koei Tecmo.
But going back to what I'm saying though, with like Ken Levine, we've seen people try to make BioShock type games, and they didn't go as well.
The only one I could think of is Atomic Heart,
and it didn't go well.
Anything else? I know the System Shock one that remaster that came out is good. Atomic Heart has its problems.
I mean, you would say Atomic Heart. There are people that'll say like Prey is like they'll say Prey is one. I'm like that's not but Dishonored, Prey, Dishonored. They have that version. I'm like sure, there's
goes to the which goes to the developers of Arcane, which goes back to them with Redfall. Yeah. They did wanted to do something different. And even Deathloop is something different. So,
but you know why Redfall, a big part of why it was disappointing, not just because it was a bad game, but they literally tried to do something different. Yes, but it's something that we have seen 100 times. This is why I'm saying like I don't need Ken Levine making a 2D side scroller because guess what? We have so many of them already. You know how many?
We do.
This is like. Do you want Kojima to make a season story game, a farm simulator? No, I don't.
Yes.
We got 100 of them. Listen, people complain about the PlayStation Showcase. I understand there's some bad things, but listen, let me tell you. Yeah, there's like a quarter of the games I'm interested in. There's only a quarter of the games I'm interested in Nintendo Directs, and that's because of 75% of them are some farm story game. And they all look the same. Stop showing me these. I don't want to see them no more. We saw another one in the Summer Games Fest, and I was like, come on.
No.
Come on.
You be mad at Summer Games. I was about to say, you be mad at Summer Games Fest from last year when it was all space games. First person space games.
It's like we're seeing the same thing. So if no one is making Ken Levine type games and no one's coming close to them, I don't want him making anything else selfishly. And if that's what he wants to make, that needs to be left. That is to me, this is where I'm getting back to is that was used to discredit Judas, the game that's coming out, and that is so That is a bad take, in my opinion. A super bad take, because
And
he is
I have,
making the game
and
he
I
wants to
have,
make, and people are
right.
discrediting. They're like, "Oh, it looks like Bioshock," and that's the end of the discussion. What? That's the end of the discussion? That's like saying, "Oh, Starfield just looks like Fallout in space." What? That's the end of the discussion? Like, there's no, and that to me is the annoying part, where that ends up being like, "Oh, this looks like this looks like this." You know,
Because
before Tears of the Kingdom
it
came out, it was like, "Oh, it's going to be the same map, and it's going to
it's
be
the
over. It's going to be just
it's
Breath of the
the
Wild." You know,
because this is the thing about it. It's the Mega Man / Mighty Number 9 Castlevania / Blood um
Bloodstain,
Bloodline? No, not Bloodlines. Bloodstain.
Bloodstain.
Is that these creators who worked on these properties that we love and come to know, once they leave, instead of them doing something different, because you're expecting them to do something different, they're doing they're still pacing by the numbers, but just under a different look. And with Judas, I'm not knocking Judas.
Well,
Hold on. I'm not
but
knocking Judas. I'm not knocking. Hold on, Austin. I'm
mhm.
not knocking Judas for what it is with Ken Levine. It looks good. The thing about it is that you got away from Bioshock and you made a game that still feels similar to what your previous thing is. And so for us to judge it just on look and not by playing it, you are still painting games by the same numbers. It's just a different look to it and everything. So people were expecting Ken Levine to do something different or bring something different, but all the stuff that we're seeing just from the trailer, opinionated, everybody giving their opinion, just seeing it from the trailer feels like your previous game or previous series that you work on, and we were expecting to see something different. Now,
But why?
all of that
Why?
changed.
That's
All
my
of that,
argument.
all of
That's
that.
my
Hold on,
argument,
Austin.
though.
Hold on, Austin. All of that could change once people play it. People makes
True,
judgments on people.
true.
People make judgments on what they see until they play the game. Wind Waker got hate.
Okay, hold on, hold on,
Literally. Hold on, hold
hold on,
on.
hold on,
Wind
hold. No,
Waker.
you hold on.
Wind,
You hold on this time. You hold on this time. You hold on this time. So when Tears of the Kingdom was announced, don't you think that the rhetoric and the talk about how it was just going to be Breath of the Wild, the same map, and it was just going to be extra more? Don't you think that was bad commentary? Don't you think it was bad commentary?
no.
You think it was like totally cool just to be like, oh, it's gonna be the same as Breath of the Wild? It's just gonna be
Yeah, because
better Breath of the
everybody,
Wild?
because everybody looked at the trailer. They heard the news that it was going to be taking place still in the same Hyrule, but no one had no more information with that. So, for people who never played Breath of the Wild or who already made their judgment and didn't like Breath of the Wild, they just automatically said it was going to be the same thing. Okay,
Okay, but
fine.
what about
Let it
people
be.
like you?
Hold
Okay,
on.
hold on. We're continuing with this thought process. Let's stay on this thought process. So people who like
This is why I love you,
Breath of the
Austin, so much.
we do this every time. So people who liked Breath of the Wild and were very excited for Breath of the Wild and we're going to be very excited for Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
They so were you? So you were that person. You were excited for Tears of the Kingdom. Were you going to be a little
Yes.
disappointed if it was going to be the exact same as Breath of the Wild?
No.
You weren't going to be disappointed.
And I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you why. No.
Okay. Hold on.
I'm gonna tell you.
These are simple.
I
These
was
are
trying to
real
answer
quick
the question.
questions. Real questions. So you wouldn't have been disappointed
Nope.
had it been the exact same but just a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you love the game, right? People like
love
me.
the game, and I love the game and what they included in this world.
Okay, so people like me who love the first BioShock, and then when BioShock Infinite came out, it's like, oh, it looks like BioShock but in a different universe. That was cool with me. That was cool with me because I loved BioShock. If you didn't like BioShock 1, surprise, surprise, you probably weren't going to like Infinite, okay? So when I see a new version of this game comes out in Judas, and it's going to be BioShock, and it might be with, it's going to be in a new setting for sure. It's not like they're going to copy different enemies and stuff. They're going to tell a different story because both games told totally different stories.
Your stories, correct.
How am I? I'm not going to be disappointed by that, but it's people that just don't know anything about the games or are already downing it. That doesn't. It's like, I don't want to hear this because you don't care about it in the first place. So why do you care if he makes a different game? Why do you care if the Castlevania people make Bloodstain? Bloodstain was great. I'm not going to talk about Mighty Number 9. We don't talk about that. That was a bad example of what happened. But if that's the game they want to make and they make it and they put their heart and their passion into it, that's what I want. That's what I want. I don't need them to make.
And that's why I said the opinion of just viewing a trailer is going to be different than when the game came out. Everybody who made that comparison of Breath of the Wild, people who complained about the price point of Tears of the Kingdom, people who said it's going to be running like this for Tears of the Kingdom, all that stuff, all that negative opinion that Tears of the Kingdom that came to that game has literally went away. No one's talking about the price point. Nobody's talking about how the game runs. You see more stuff of people doing like mechs and sending Koroks up in the sky and all of this other stuff. When has all those complaints from this game before it came out? Where has it arrived? When Judas comes out,
I'm gonna say this though.
Hold on.
You're talking about people. You're talking about people. You're saying people that were already excited for it. People who like me.
I'm talking about people who downloaded the game, who wasn't going to buy it, who had all of these opinions about before the game came out. A lot of that has fell to the wayside once the game came out because the comparisons to Breath of the Wild. Where have you seen them lately?
I'm gonna say this.
You don't got the same powers. You see a bunch of other stuff that's happening. Oh, and I'm gonna let you talk. And that's why I'm trying to defend Judas and everything. Yeah. I'm not knocking Judas. It's that I'm just saying that everybody made an opinion about that game and the comparisons about the game when they just seen the trailer. All of that could fall to the wayside once that game comes out and plays it. Oh, it's going to be another BioShock. Okay, if it is another BioShock and it gets straight 10s everywhere in a Game of the Year nomination, then what?
Then what? But that's what I'm saying. People, this is a whole gaming thing where the gaming community has like totally lost me in the last year. Like I'm so over it because every showcase I got to hear about people hating on whatever when you can just talk about what you like. What I'm saying though is like Breath of the Wild. Okay, I'm known. I'm not a fan. I was not a fan of Breath of the Wild. I just couldn't vibe with it. Tears of the Kingdom when it came out did not change my mind on Breath of the Wild, and it didn't really get me that excited either. Like I want to try it maybe, but the same stuff that, even though it is different and it looks like there might be some new stuff, the stuff that it's doing with the building, the crafting mechanics, I'm out. I don't care about that kind of stuff. It doesn't appeal to me. That's not what Zelda appealed to me for. And a lot of other people who weren't into Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom did not sell them on it either. Like it wasn't, it doesn't sell. But what I'm saying, I haven't finished my point. I haven't finished my point. And that's totally fine. So people like me should not be just dogging Tears of the Kingdom because like, oh, it's the same idea. Like, who cares? You don't like the game. So for my thing is like, if you don't care about Ken Levine, why do you care about Judas? Why would you care? It's not your game to care about. There are a million games that come out every year. Why do you got to complain about a creator making games that he likes that you don't even like? You don't even like the creator, so why do you care what game he makes? Why?
And don't get me wrong, I love Ken Levine. I have all the respect for him and everything. I'm just saying that. Not trying to be logical or anything like that, but I'm just saying that the viewpoints for Judas just a trailer that came out. People made that comparison. They're not going to know anything until they play that game. Kevin Levine, we know that he's known for making games like that. So even if you leave, you can start as many studios as you want to, but when are you going to change it? When you and not just saying that when you're trying to innovate or anything, when are you going to change it? All that stuff, like I said, all that stuff for the thing with Tears of the Kingdom and with Breath of the Wild is those are science games. Those are science experiment games. You don't have to do much crafting unless you want to. But don't forget, when you are able to create, when you get into the spirit of being an engineer or you feel like you have the freedom to do something, it brings a certain vibe, a certain joy, a certain feeling. I bet you when Judas comes out, if that mud controls great, if there are some like amazing boss fights or if the story is deep, people are going to love it. People are going to be like, what I just did when that what I said about it when that trailer drop is now completely falling away because he has changed my mind. He has did something different that now this game stands out and I could talk about it and feel good. And if it, like I said, if it get the tens, because don't forget, just because that game is like or looks like BioShock or feels like BioShock was nominated for Game of the Year. People still talk about BioShock. There's thesis and research papers on BioShock. There's documentaries that people did on BioShock. So if Judas is on that level, then you're going to see the same thing. Is that a bad thing? No, you could be compared to one of the I won't say best first person game, but what that game did, what Ken Levine did with BioShock, if he could recreate that and go above and beyond that, then go ahead and compare it to BioShock, because that means that my game is still going to get the accolades and then some.
Yeah. Which is fun. But all I'm saying is, let's stop telling creators what we want them to make. Let's not, if you don't like it, just move on. Just move on.
Now, because we're about to wrap it up. The reason why I said, I know we got away from the fall game stuff, the reason why I said when I said about one of the developers to try something different, even when with me making the statement about Bungie, it's because I know that they're talented. I know they could create something different. I truly believe them, and I still want to support them. When Marathon comes out, I'm going to end up buying it for Xbox because, of course, Corey's going to get it. So I want to play with him, and I want to be able to have that talk because it's a good experience. I believe in Bungie. I knock Bungie for the first Destiny because of the story and not knowing. Like, I had my problems. Destiny 2, the original version that came out of it, loved the Destiny stuff. I still buy the DLC. I don't really play it stuff, but I do like support that game as much. Like I said, I respect Bungie. Sometimes I just want to see something different. Believe me, I have been wanting something different from Nintendo for a long time. I might not say it, but when Nintendo does a new IP, I'm willing to give it a try because they're doing something different.
Yeah.
Codename Steam. What the heck? Abraham Lincoln in a strategy game? Splatoon? You don't have to really. If you hit somebody, that's only stopping them. Your goal is to paint. Yeah. And then, out of everything that they did, new IPs that Nintendo did, what has other companies tried to do? They tried to imitate it.
Hot question. Hot quick question though. While we got Splatoon up, and this is a Nintendo episode, I'm assuming, because we definitely did not stay on Nintendo long.
Oh, trust me, the last Power Box have been all about Xbox, so do not worry.
I can listen. The Foam Star game does look not good. It doesn't look good. Okay, I'm not a big fan of Splatoon either, so seeing a different version of it was not for me, and it also doesn't look very good, period. But I think people need to calm down a little bit on the idea of people trying to copy a Splatoon. Have we not been around the last 12 years? Everyone's trying to copy everyone that's big, okay? Splatoon is huge. But guess what? It is only on Nintendo. So if you're telling me there's a market for a game that's like Splatoon that is on PC and other consoles, you can't tell me that's a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think the execution looks pretty bad. The Foam Stars, it looks like a dumb game. It just does to me. But
and that's why people. Oh, I won't say people. I would say me. I think that's why when Nintendo brings stuff out, there's always going to be someone try to imitate a lot of their games.
Right.
You know, Splatoon came out. Look, now you got Soap Foams or Foam Stars. You got Ninjala. You got games like in that kind of genre and everything.
But it's for people who aren't. But it is a different game. Like, it's the same idea as Splatoon, but it's going to a different audience because it might come to Switch, but it's coming to people who aren't on Switch. So I can see why Square Enix would try that. I mean, because
I
don't know if you remember
it's more
this.
the general idea.
Well, that to me is preposterous. That's a preposterous thing because when Overwatch was big, when it came out and the Switch came out, Switch did not have Overwatch, but a game called Paladins came out because they were like, hey, we don't have Overwatch on Switch, but people like this kind of game. There's no Team Fortress. There's no Valorant. We got a different game, so they made Paladins. And Paladins, for a little bit, was pretty big on Switch. There was a community there on Switch because that was the only option to play those games. So if you're telling me that, hey, Nintendo came up with this really cool idea where people aren't shooting each other really, but they're painting an area, and it's a different type of multiplayer game we've never seen before or in this form, and it's not on any other console but the Switch. I mean, it kind of sucks that Square Enix is doing it. I would rather Square Enix make pretty much anything else. But you can't knock them for trying. You can't knock them for trying to take that market.
No.
I mean, when PUBG came out, how many battle royales did we get after that? You know what? After Tarkov came, like everyone's trying to make that kind of game now. I forget what those games are called now because I don't play them. But
I know. Was before Fortnite, the battle royale. Player Unknown, like on how big that was, and then how people try to make a big thing about that. With Super Metroid, Castlevania Symphony of the Night came out, and then later on, all those other games try to have a Metroid style game has followed those two games, and and look at how that genre has flown. At a point in time, the mascot genre, because Mario was big and then Sonic became big, and then start seeing all of these mascots. So it's kind of just like when companies see other companies being successful, definitely, like I said, going back to business, they're going to try to do something to get a piece of that pie.
Yeah.
That's
the name of the game, but people were dogging it so hard because they try to copy Nintendo. Like, duh. Everyone tries to copy everyone. What are you talking about?
Look at Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger's new game plus has revolutionized games still to this day.
Yeah.
It changed replay value, because the thing about it is it's just like people at a point where when they finish their game, they have to start everything from the beginning. You don't have to do that nowadays for some games. RPGs, just in general. Now you got RPG elements in games. So it's just like, I'm not going to say that there's nothing new under the sun, because it is what it is. But I think that sometimes if a company is able to do something different, take the chance and do something different. And I think we are, as gamers in the community, we should be more acceptable, even if it's a small game, to see if they get the ideas. Don't forget, there are some games that do fail like badly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's that developer's first game. They came with a cool concept, and in production, things had to change. They had to stay on budget, And don't forget, these developers don't plan to make a bad game. Mm-mm. Like you said, people put their heart, soul, and passion into making games.
Yeah.
But sometimes sometimes there's business stuff that get in. As much as I get on Cyberpunk and everything,
which I'm playing
devs,
right
those devs, the people who actually made the game, that stuff was out of their head, because there's the CEOs and all of this stuff were hoping that they get a game out. And those devs, like, we don't have enough time. We still got stuff that we need to build. Nope, you need to get it out. And so look what it is. As much as, and I love LeRon to death. And as much as me and LeRon may had our discussions about Cyberpunk, I have always said that I have my reservations. I don't believe what they're showing us is actual gameplay. And so I'm holding on to my reservations. And I know, and me and LeRon, we got it. He got it for PC. I got it for Xbox. My Xbox One Slim. And when it came out, the game had problems.
Yeah.
That Google video game system, the cloud one, that was the only one was running.
Yeah.
Running it and stuff. I think people who are being hard on Judas, they just seen a trailer, they made their opinion, and if they want to hold on to their opinion or they want to prove their opinion, you go out and buy the game.
Yeah.
And you show us where those comparisons are at. Because the thing about it is that if you want to show it and do all of that, do that on your own time. But I need you to up that $70 to them to be able to prove it. Because I might get a whole different experience and everything. I haven't said nothing about Judas. I wait to see what Ken Levine doing. I did say Ken Levine is kind of a one-note developer. It's because he's been making that style of game, and I would like to see something different. But if Judas is hot and he knows what he's doing, round of applause to him. And if it gets Game of the Year nomination, hey, if I play and I enjoy it and I see why, then I'll be like, yep, that game definitely deserves it. I did that to Portal 2. Just was like, what is everybody talking about this game? Until I played Portal 2. I played it, I laughed, I had fun, and then I stopped and said, now I understand why this game got Game of the Year. Now I understand why it deserved the nominations and stuff.
I was really trying not to bring up Judas again. I was really trying not to, but you brought it back up. I was going to not say anything, but you brought it back up. I have to say this, though. I don't know if I could say that Ken Levine is a one-note producer. That's like saying, to me, that's like saying Michael Jordan was a one-note athlete. That's like, that sounds so disrespectful. But technically you're right, but that's not a knock. Like, if you are good and at the best at what you do, who cares if you're not good at something else? Who cares? Like, and that to me is that's why I draw the line. Like, I don't care if he makes doesn't want to make any type of other game, because if he's good at what he does and he's the best at what he does, why would you want to mess that up?
And the thing, Austin, that would be a personal thing to me. My personal beliefs and what I say does not represent anybody else. I'm
not saying you specifically. I'm just saying that the whole, as a whole gaming community, I really wish that people would just like what they like And if they don't like something, just shut up and go on, because who cares? Like, I'm so sick of like these fanboys being like, this company won, this company won. Guess what? We're both seeing CGI trailers for games that aren't going to come out for the next 5 years. Unless you're Nintendo. I will say that Nintendo doesn't do that as much. They might give us a teaser for Metroid Prime 4, but that's it. You know?
I can say this, is that you could be critical about a game. But my thing is, you could be critical if you own and play that game. If you're being critical just by viewing something and not playing it, that's not fair. That's the fanboy part that I don't like.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can view some games sometimes, like Lord of the Rings Gollum. We all knew from the very beginning that this game is going to need some work.
I bet you, but I bet you if that game end up in the bargain bin for $9.99, I bet you people will buy it to see what the craziness it is.
Oh, people will pay full price just to see how bad it is. People are paying full price just to see how bad it is. So,
well, that is very
I
true.
mean, so that's not what I mean. But what I mean is just the idea of like, hey, this game is not for me. Move on. Instead, it's a constant complaining about, like, if I hear a recap of the PlayStation show and all I hear is about, I'm not saying I've heard this, but like, I hated Street Fighter, I hated Foam Stars, this show sucks. I'm like, okay, did you I don't like Spider-Man. Okay, well, all right. Did you like? Well, I liked whatever game. I like Bungie. Okay, well, then Bungie was what was there for you. But guess what?
Hey.
Every show has 40 games in it. I only care about 4. I don't talk about the rest. I don't care. Like, and that should be that. I'm not gonna dog other people's games.
And literally, Nintendo Directs get that all the time. We started out the conversation.
I 100% agree. Those story of season games, I could not give a care about. I kind of want to stop seeing them, but guess what? Every time I get on Twitter, there's some people in there that are really excited about them. And do I go like, hey, that game sucks? No. But these fanboys are wild, man. I'm so sick of them. Fanboys suck.
I attack Grand Theft Auto all the time that I can, but I attack them. I as much as I attack them, I understand that they sell well. I do buy a copy and do my best to finish the game. I do play them and everything.
Let me ask you this, Ed. Grand Theft Auto is not your game, but is it an objectively bad game? Objectively. I am not a Grand Theft Auto 5 fan at all. I really don't care about any of the Grand Theft Autos, to be honest.
It's not
bad, objectively bad games. They're not objectively bad games. But it's
average. It's not.
It's
bad.
You can say it's okay. You can say it's okay. You can say it's okay.
It's bad in its controls. But the game itself are average. Some of the controls in some of these Grand Theft Auto games is terrible.
I understand that someone actually made sense of that the other day, where when you play a fighting game, fighting characters do not move like humans do. Because if they moved like humans do, it would be like Grand Theft Auto characters fighting each other, and no one wants that.
Yes.
Grand Theft Auto is going for a different appeal. I don't like it. I hate the fact that I have to tap X to sprint. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Yeah. Get out of here. But let me tell you, I love Red Dead. I love the stories.
I don't like pushing the directional pad in to run. Make my character fast. Let me just run. Let me have unlimited run, no stamina. Let me Sonic the Hedgehog this stuff. Let me get some places quick.
Yeah, I mean, I actually agree with you. There's only one. I think the best game that has ever done sprint correctly, and I don't know, this might be a hot take. And the only game that has done sprint correctly to me is Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor sprint. When you get the upgrade where you can, when you vault over little things and you press X and it gives you a speed boost over the vault. Oh my gosh, that's like crack. Sprinting in Shadow of Mordor is like crack to me. I don't know why. I loved it. and I never used fast
That's good.
travel.
That's
And
good.
that to me is a sign of like, oh, you made your world interesting. You made the travel. Like, I'm playing Cyberpunk right now. Despite some of its flaws, it still has. There's some crazy bugs in there. It still crashes on me. There's cars just kind of like exploded, like just completely disappearing. Sometimes in races, it's still happening. But that game is really interesting in the world where I don't fast travel. Like, I don't really. I the other day I was on a mission to go do a race that's like in the desert, and this is the first time that I was like, I'm gonna fast travel because I'm like on the opposite side of the map. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I had to look for like 3 minutes on how to fast travel. I was like, I don't even know how to fast travel. I don't even know how to do it. And then eventually I was like, oh, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And that to me was like, oh, that kind of sucks that it took so long to find out how to fast travel. But it also was cool that I never did it. Whereas like there's a lot of games now that fast travel, I'm like, oh, please just get me to the next spot. Please just get me to the next spot. I'm done seeing the same thing over and over again. AKA every Ubisoft game. Sorry.
Well, everybody, that's going to be it for this special. That was a really good discussion. I thank you, Austin, for having that discussion. And like I said, I love you, man. You know how much I loved you.
I love conversations. I don't have these conversations about video games very often. My wife doesn't care. It would just be blah blah blah. Charlie Brown teacher to her. That's all it would be. So when I get someone who's passionate about games that likes to talk about them, and we have great discussion. I mean, we have it's funny. We definitely disagree, but also at the same time, there's no one I love talking about more.
And Austin, you already know, if you tell me, Ed, I need you to get this game before you make your judgment, get this game. You already know Judas is going to be brought back. And we're going to revisit this.
I wouldn't tell you to buy Judas now. I just know that I will be. I will be buying Judas. I don't care. If that game ended up being like a Cyberpunk terrible situation, that would disappoint me. That would disappoint me.
Yes.
Where it was just broken.
Yes.
I'd be like, all right, this sucks. But if it's if it's BioShock 2.0, that's cool with me. As long as you're telling a different story, that's honestly, people hate on BioShock, but people that hate on it don't usually finish it, and I can understand why. I tell you, I've played BioShock many times. I hate doing the puzzle hacking game every time. I'm like, oh, I have to do that. I forgot I have to do this. I forgot. But the story is what I go for. It's not the best gameplay. Yeah. It's like Half-Life. It's like, Prey. When I play Prey, I don't play Prey for the gameplay. Like, I play Prey for like all the crazy stuff I can do and the story of it and the exploration. And that's what BioShock is to me, is the same thing. If I want gameplay, I will play Death's Door because that game was awesome. That game's gameplay was awesome.
Amazing. Did you get
to
that second boss? Did you get to the second boss where you had to fight the
I beat it.
And all the words? Oh, okay.
Yes.
That part where all the words was coming out, I took pictures of it. I posted it on my Twitter page, and I busted out laughing because I got to read all of this nonsense, and it's so funny reading it and everything. But Austin, go ahead and plug where people can find you.
You can find me at PlayStaustin on Twitter. It definitely sounds like a fanboy name, but I promise you it's not that bad. My fanboyism isn't that bad. I'm the host of Scrambled Rambles, a podcast I do. It was a conversation where I was just having different people go on, and then life got really busy. But it's mainly just me and my friends get together on Friday nights and just talk about whatever. And that's pretty much what it is now. Hopefully one day I can get back into the converse, having interviews and stuff like that. But right now it's just four dudes that we've known each other for almost our whole lives. So just talking about whatever, lots of jokes, lots of kidding around. Do not take it seriously. Don't take anything seriously you hear that show. You'll think we're psychopaths. So, but Go check us out on Spotify. Scrambled
Yes.
Rambles.
Yes. And with that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great week in Austin. I love you, man. You my homie.
I love you too, Ed.
Big hugs
I love
to
you too, Ed.
And
I gotta
we'll
come see you
next time
someday. Someday in Chicago. I gotta come out that way.
Yes. And that's going to be it for Nintendo Expansion Pass, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Nintendo Expansion Pass is part of Nintendo Power Block and is a product of Boss Rush Media LLC. The show is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio, and is hosted by me, Edward Varnell. My co-host is Corey Derritt. You can find Corey at I am Corey in HD on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting the Boss Rush Podcast and Tower Casuals, the Destiny Podcast. Follow Expansion Pass as part of Nintendo Power Block and on all social media platforms at Power Block Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.